Hello, my lovely moms. I want to come to you today to tell you that we can't cook forever. Because guess what? Eventually, we end up in cooking burnout. Of course, there are some moms who love to cook. I'm not one of those moms. But there's some of you out there. But for today's video, I'm coming to you about cooking burnout because guess what? We do get burnt out. And the outcry that I have been hearing is that moms don't want to have to be cooking forever, all the time, every day. They come home from work, or if they're stay at home, it's the constant, all right, I have to feed you here to do this, I have to feed you to do that. And I am here, mother motivated, to encourage you to keep going. I want to keep you motivated as a lovely mom. You are a good mother. And I know that sometimes we try different things, but you got to keep going because eventually you will find the solution that fits for your family. So raise your hand and let me know by giving a like to this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and definitely share this channel with all of your friends and family if they need some motivation or you're just looking for some tips. But definitely drop in the comments what you would like to know, and then I will touch base upon it. So do me a favor, let me know if you're that mom when it comes to preparing meals for your family at whatever time of day that is, that you would prefer to go run into the pantry and hide with a bag of chips. I hope you didn't raise your hand. I hope you're not that mom. Well, let me tell you, you do not want to hide with a bag of chips, a glass of wine, or some cookies, piece of cake, whatever it is. You don't want to have to go and hide because in the long run, those things are not good for us. Okay? You definitely do not want to do that because they can affect our health in the long run. And I don't want you to be that mom that's just burnt out, and you have not come up with a good system to actually get some relief. So I'm going to leave you with a few tips today. Okay? So there are a few of them that I have come up with that I really do believe can help you out, especially if you are on a budget. Now, I know that sometimes we work so hard all day. Some of us work from home, some of us work outside of the home, whatever it may be. But yes, we can become busy with whatever situation we find ourselves in. And what happens is there are times we resort to eating out, okay? And eating out every day is actually not healthy, especially if we're doing fast food. Fast food is fast because it's not necessarily healthy. Food that usually takes time is usually better for us. So when you go from like farm to table, when you actually have to prepare it, those are usually better foods for us. And everyone knows what their body feels like after eating certain things. So I'm coming to you to let you know you do have options. So one thing is that you can sign up for a prep service like HelloFresh. I personally don't like those, but there are options, and I know that there are a lot of moms who do like those kinds of services where they actually prep the meals for you. And what they do is like they give it to you in portions and you get to cook it yourself, but everything you need is in there, and you just tell them how many people you have in your family, and that's what they send to you, and it's usually a subscription. Not only a HelloFresh type service, but usually locally there are some restaurants or even moms who cater for families who do the same kinds of service. I like my Caribbean type foods, so I don't usually gravitate to those services. But you do have options out there. So one thing that I have decided to do is to start meal prepping. But let me tell you, wonderful mother, everything one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Don't try to do it all at once because you will become frustrated and you will become overwhelmed. Well, at least more than likely. There are some people who could just jump in and do it, but it's just like a diet. You know, when you go to cold turkey and you say, I'm not going to eat this, and this, and it's like no sugar, no potato chips, and we go cold turkey. And then maybe we find ourselves like 2 or 3 weeks down the road and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm craving this and that. And then you start eating it and you start binge eating and you start gaining more weight. It's the same thing with your meal prep. What you need to do is take it one step at a time. Okay? So what I have done is I have gone out to purchase my glass container you see here from Costco. I'm sure a lot of you know about Costco, and they do sell these in bulk. I would suggest to you wonderful moms to get these, and I got glass, okay? The glass ones, not the plastic ones, because when we put them into the microwave, or I think the glass ones you can put into the oven, which is so much nicer. But definitely invest in a few of these. This one is not that big. This one is, you know, it's a small size portion. You could put your meat, your veggies, your avocado, whatever you have as your meal prep, but you have to know what is good for your body, right? So I did purchase a few of these. You can get them in bulk. Start with yourself and then see how that works out for you. And then you can curtail it down to the rest of the members in your family. So what I did was, instead of buying lunch, I started bringing lunch. So that was where I started my meal prep, which has saved me a lot of money because I make a good amount of food. And then each day I have, you know, what I'm going to put into my container. So in this container, this lovely container that I have here, show this to you again. This opens, of course, on all 4 sides, as you can see here, and then nice cover. And I got them in different colors. They are dishwasher friendly, and I found myself spending a lot of money before, but when I purchased these containers, I ended up spending less money because I was already buying groceries anyways. So yes, I cooked enough food that I can have for the week. And then I started bringing my my wonderful handy dandy container. So now that I've started this for myself, I can start doing it for the rest of my family. So I'll let you know how that goes. But now that it's getting a little cool out, you can see it's somewhat windy outside. Now that it's definitely getting much cooler outside. This down. That it's time to do some stews and some crock pot dishes and soups, right? So these really work well enough. You can make enough to have at least for the week. So I really do love doing soups. My kids love soups. At first, I found that I would make a really big pot of soup, and I ended up having to go to 2 pots of soup because every time I made the soup, my kids were eating it all out. And I was like, I was trying to save it for like at least 3 days because it would save me time. But I asked a family member, and they said, you know what? When I make more food, they ended up eating more. So what I am going to be doing is going back to my Caribbean roots, just like my grandmother would do, and then start packing everyone's meal and say, all right, you go get your bowl. And then she would come. She's like, all right, you have your bowl. The next one would come. All right, you have your bowl. And she would share your portion. And guess what? Everyone was able to get even amounts of food. Whatever it was she was sharing, whether it be curry goat or some gungo pea soup, whatever it may be. But you guys may have your specific dishes that you have, right? And you can start portioning your meals. You say, all right, Timmy, this meal is for you. Jason, this portion right here is for you. And you portion everything out. You know, I've seen it where some parents, what they would do is, even when it came up to the snacks and they had it in the pantry, they had boxes for the children, and it was labeled and said, all right, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours, and this is what you have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Once it's done, it's done. So be able to manage yourself, right? And this way, instead of everyone just, getting into the pot whenever they want, because I have older children, and going into the pot whenever they want, everything is portioned for, what you need. This way, they can't just pick out a certain portion of it that they like and then leave everything else. So it's like them eating out all the meat and leaving the rice, which my kids would do, or eating the rice and leaving the meat, and then you don't have a full meal. So I found that getting dishes, just like I said, start with yourself, and then little by little, you start doing it for the children and your spouse, right? And then once you start portioning that way, you teach your family how to eat. And this way, honestly, by the end of the day, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm hungry. Be like, your meal is already in the refrigerator. It's prepared. It's ready to go. You can even do like breakfast prepping. That also works. My son loves doing that. I got him like it's called an overnight oats thing, but it's not really an overnight oats, but he puts like the seeds into it. And honestly, you just add water. But like I said, you can do these things every once in a while, but definitely change it up. Don't eat the same thing all the time. So for the first week, you have one thing, make it for the week. And then the next week you have something, and curtail your grocery list according to that. Now, one thing I learned to do was putting food in the crock pot. There was one day I was feeling like I really don't want to do anything, especially for when the kids got hungry. So I took my crock pot out and I put the pasta, the sauce, and a little bit of cheese or whatever you would like. And honestly, I just threw everything into the crock pot and I layered it like a lasagna. I left it there for like 2 hours, and when it was done, it was like a big ziti, basically like that. And it tasted so good. And I put the seasoning in there, with little mushrooms or whatever you need to do with the vegetables and everything. And it came out so good. So figure out some of those little crock pot recipes. I didn't even boil the pasta. Okay. I just poured it in, put the cheese, and did it in layers. This way it's not just cheese on the top, because you know that the crock pots are somewhat deep. So you do it in layers, and it came out so good. But there are ideas, there are things you can do, things you can definitely try, so you're not experiencing cooking burnout, right? So try a meal plan like HelloFresh. You can look for different ones, and there are people locally to you who actually do this, restaurants. But if you're really on a budget, start batching your food as to what you want to do. But like I said, start with yourself, and then little by little, you do it with each person in your family. Everyone may not like the same thing, but you can put into their container what they like. Okay, this way no one's asking you, oh, what's for dinner? You have already planned it out, and it takes a little bit more stress off of you. If you cannot plan for the entire week, or you get tired of the food, you can make something that will maybe last 3 days, and then you kind of switch up the sides, maybe the last 2 days of the week, and then maybe you go out one day in the week instead of an everyday thing. And then get with other moms and swap ideas. That's why I said drop your comments in here and let me know, because everyone would like to hear all the different ideas, but you don't have to kill yourself laboring in the kitchen all the time. Every day there are options. But like I said, start with a crock pot pasta and some sauce and some cheese. At least start there. Throw some vegetables in there. Some things you can do, or make a big pot of soup. Hopefully your kids like soup, but you know definitely what they like, right? Okay. So you can also do some meals and put them into the freezer, like a lasagna, or the soup you can put into bowls and put them into the freezer. And then when you're ready, you just take them out, put them into the pot, thaw them, and they're good to go. Okay, that's another good way. And another thing you can do is that when you buy your meats, of course, farm fresh meats, organic, always go healthy as possible as you can. If you do that, instead of going out to eat, you're basically only spending, I don't want to say you're spending the same amount of money, but you will be saving some money and go higher quality on your foods. But if you get your meats, as soon as you come home from the supermarket or the market or whatever you've ordered, you can have your food delivered. This way you're not buying everything. inside the supermarket, or when you go to Target or Walmart or Publix or Walbaums, wherever you actually shop, Whole Foods, all of those places, wherever you shop, definitely take that time to invest in either a service or something. You have to see which one is better just to save you time from going out and buying other things. If not, quickly go to the supermarket, know what you want to buy, you're good to go. Okay? So when you bring those meats home, season them right away. And before you go out to the market, make sure you eat. Because a lot of times when you don't eat, you start picking things up and you're like, oh, I'll eat this and I'll eat that. And then you buy a pizza and then you buy a chicken and then you buy a... There're just so many things, right? Okay. But definitely season your meat, and then you can put it into the freezer or the fridge if you plan to cook it within the next day or two. So, in closing, if this has benefited you in any way, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when I am, putting up a video. And very soon I will be going live. I will let you know when that schedule will be. And this way you can come on live and we'll have a chat, right? And don't forget to see my little shorts that I'll be doing during the week, just for little tidbits on every lesson that I'm going through. But I am here to motivate you moms and keep you moving ahead. Don't give up. Don't quit, because your children need you. Yes, your spouse needs you, but your children need you. And I know that you're definitely going to take care of them, but at the same time, you need to take care of yourself. So if meal prepping or having a service is going to save you that time and give you the ability to do that self-care, whether it's taking like a 5 minutes to just sit outside, 10 minutes outside, take a quick shower, take a walk. I found that walking really helps me, and it's a very good stress reliever. Doing that and setting a goal for yourself. If you have a watch like I have that takes your steps, set a goal for yourself and say maybe 10,000 steps a day. Grab a friend, and it's always so good to grab a friend. But I'm going to let you know is that soon I'm going to have mom nights out where we all get together, of course, online. So you can invite your friends from all over the world to come on these live Zooms, and we come and we talk, we jam, we talk about all things motherhood, of course, and we trade tips and ideas, except we're going to be doing it live. So if this is something you think would be interesting to you, of course, let me know in the comments, because I am going to be doing it very shortly. And I would love for you to be a part of it. All right. So it's going to be through Eventbrite. You just sign up and come on out and let's jam. So let's not lose our minds over trying to cook, labor in the kitchen, or eating out every day. You're not going to feel good, especially if you're eating fast food and other things like that, because we want to have good nutrition. If we're not keeping up with our own health and taking care of ourselves, you're going to end up being that burnt out mother who ends up in the hospital, and you don't want to do that, because not every mother recovers from it. I know how that feels, and it's not a good feeling. But like I said, you need to have the strength and the ability to overcome some of these things, and they do have lasting effects. So if you hear my voice, I would behoove you to take care of yourself. Stay motivated, stay good, walk good and live right, as we say in the Caribbean. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I would love to hear from you. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share with your friends and family. Have a wonderful day.